Hello, we're going to do contour line drawing. What are you going to need? Here's what you need to get started. You're going to need your sketchbook, you're going to need a piece of paper, and you're going to need your fine tip marker. Looks like this. It's a Sharpie. You can also use colors if you like, but just not the regular Sharpie. The regular Sharpie's too thick. Okay, I'm set up. What am I gonna draw? What you're gonna look for at your house, you're gonna look for some things that have lots and lots of textures and lines and complexity. And you're gonna be thinking about, okay, what am I gonna draw today when we have a Zoom meeting? Because we're gonna be drawing on sketchbook drawing at the start of class, every class. And we're gonna do contour line drawings for a while. So be thinking about, okay, collect them up if you like, but be thinking about what is it that I'm gonna draw? What do I see around my house that I think would be good to draw, or what would I like to draw? So the things that are nice to draw are things that have lots of lines, lots of textures, lots of details. Here are some ideas. This would be really a good thing to draw because first I would start off with the clay pot, and then I would go all the way around to all the shapes and the lines and the details in this plant, and it would end up to be a beautiful drawing. You might think about clipping a flower, a branch, a really nice, interesting leaf from outside. As long as it has lots of details on it, those are really fun to draw, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Natural things are fun to draw, like these seashells would be nice because lots of lines, lots of details, and I can draw them from different directions, and they'd be interesting to look at and to draw, as well as the finished drawing would be nice. How about a little stuffed toy? That would work as long as it has lots of details. This guy has fur, so fur's an interesting thing. How am I going to draw that? I have to look at all the different lines in the fur and get through that whole drawing, trying to think about what does furriness look like and how do I draw that? That's the challenge. This guy back here would be fun to draw because he has a lot of lines and textures. He has a really fine line around his nose and thicker, fuller lines where his fur is. And then I would also need to think about how am I going to draw that furry head. In the classroom, usually I have lots of rubber animals for you to draw, like big elephants or bears or lions, and those are really fun to draw. If you have some of those, grab them. That would be a great place to start. This little stuffed animal would be really fun to draw. He's really simple in his shape and in his details, but check out all the texture. How do I draw that knitted pattern? That would be fun. If you have a hat like this, great. Look at all those details. Really fun to draw. If you have a hat like this, there's not as many details, but when you're thinking about drawing it, you're going to need to think about drawing every single stitch, every single seam, and not maybe that perfect baseball cap that you have in your mind, but the one that's sitting right in front of you with all the bumps and the lumps and the way the seams come in and out and around. And then of course you have to think about drawing that logo really carefully. So that might be fun to draw. Think about shoes. Shoes are nice because lots of textures around here and the tip of this toe, more stitching, the eyelets, and check out those shoelaces. Lots of textures, lots of shapes, the way the shoelaces fall around. Really fun to draw. All right, I hope I've given you some ideas. I hope you gather some things together. And Monday, we're gonna start off. See you soon.